Good morning, students. Today we are going to see some of the questions in SSC JE question. To improve the surface finish of the casting, the following additives is added. So what is the additive we are going to add to improve the surface finish? So that is the question. So here the option is resin and oil, wood floor and sea coal. So for surface finish, we are having sea coal. Sea coal is the right option. So we can easily remember surface finish sea coal. So yes. So we have to remember yes for yes. So next என்ன question பார்க்க போறோம், non-uniform ramming of the molding sand. So non-uniform ram பண்ணோம்னா நமக்கு non-uniform ram பண்ணா என்ன வரும் அப்படின்றது, that is the question. Non-uniform ram. Non-uniform ram பண்ணா என்ன வரும்? So the thing is, non-uniform ram பண்ணோம்னா நமக்கு வரக்கூடிய question இது வந்து swells. The sand get expansion, swells, வீக்கம் சொல்லுவாங்க. An important factor taken into account while designing a core print. Core print, what is the purpose of core print? Core print is used to support the core. It is a depression made in the molding setup. So we have to know the molding sand characteristics. It is the depression created the sand. So for that, molding sand characteristics is the right answer. Molding sand characteristics, important factor, because pouring temperature, it does not deals with the core print. Pattern material, it is not at all related, and type of mold. So we should know about the molding sand characteristics for the core print. So based on the molding sand characteristics, we can it is an important factor for the designing the core print. We want to design the core print. Core print is used to support the core. A casting defect which result in general enlargement of casting. So here already previous question, non-uniform ramming. So it will cause the swells. So swell is nothing but here we are getting the definition for the swell. So a casting defect which result in the general enlargement of the casting is a swell. So swelling means size will grow. So enlargement. So we can remember easily. Next, the process of removing unwanted material from the casting. The process of in the casting, the unwanted material can be removed in the fettling section. So there is a separate section called fettling section. So where the unwanted material is removed. Which of the following is added to base sand to impart bonding strength? So we are going to work on bonding strength. Bonding strength is given by bentonite. We are having bentonite. Bentonite is the additive which is added to provide the bonding strength. Good bonding strength. Directional solidification in the casting can be improved by chills and chaplet. No, it is wrong. Chills and padding. Chaplet is used to support the core. Chills and padding is the exothermic material which is used to for directional solidification. Paddings are made up of exothermic materials. The process of making hollow casting of desired thickness of permanent mold. So we want to produce the hollow casting without the use of cores. So that is important. Without the use of the cores. So without the use of the cores means we are having centrifugal casting. So we are having centrifugal casting. Centrifugal casting, no core. In centrifugal casting, how many cores are used? 0 core. So no core. The process of making hollow casting without centrifugal casting, the purpose of chaplets. The chaplet is used to support the core. We already know that. Assumption, so for steel casting, the following type sand is better. So we are having fine grain size sand, coarse grain size sand, medium grain size sand. We are having different varieties. So in that variety, for steel, So we can go for steel casting. It is coarser grain. How do you remember? Coarser grain. In steel, so coarser grain. So we can remember in steel, coarser grain. So when you cut the S, whatever, what is the top portion when you cut the S? It is C. So C for coarser grain. Thank you, thank you. Next, odd tear. Odd tear is the casting defect due to the hindered contraction. Odd tear is the casting defect. So it is not the process of fabrication, it is not in the process of heat treatment and weathering of non-ferrous material. So these are all wrong statement. It is the casting defect. Next, which of the following process will produce best component? We need best component. So best component can be produced by die casting. So that is the important thing. Screw hole is the vertical passage. Screw hole is the opening in the mold of the pouring metal. Yes, opening of the mold. A blind hole, a hole for getting a casting. But no, it is a opening. Screw hole is a vertical passage. Screw hole is the opening in the vertical passage. So next is slick. Slick na enna? Slick. What is the option? Slick. So slick is nothing but it is used to make and repair corners. Slick, you should remember, repair corners. Make and repair corners in the mold. So slick means it is a tool in the foundry which can repair the corners. So next is, which are not following is not casting process. So extrusion is not a Carthia's process, is a casting. Semi-centrifugal method is a casting, slush casting. So extrusion is not a casting process. Fluidity depends on pouring temperature. So when the temperature is more, it will flow like a fluid. When the temperature is less, the fluid will be less. So fluidity depends on the pouring temperature. So in fluidity, the letter last, next to the last letter is T for temperature, and it is nothing but pouring temperature. So how will you get pouring? So when you rotate the D in fluidity, so it is P. So pouring temperature. Next is hot chamber die casting method. Hot chamber die casting method is used for low melting point alloys. So alloys of lead, zinc, tin. So those are the low melting point alloys. Yes. Ornaments are cast on. Slush casting. So ornaments, we can go for slush casting. Fine. Facing sand is used in the foundry work. Facing sand. What happened to the facing sand? It consists of silica and clay. Normally all the sand consists of silica and clay. So this is facing sand, clay and silica. So it is not alumina. So we have to reject the alumina. Next, the mold for casting ferrous material in continuous casting. So we are using the copper mold. It is the copper mold. Because in continuous casting the heat has to be dissipated. So high thermal conductive material is copper mold. The mold for casting ferrous material in continuous casting is made up of copper mold. In match plate pattern is used for machine molding. So it is used for mass production. MMM. Match plate pattern means mass production, machine molding. Match plate pattern can be manufactured by machine molding. Is used in the match plate pattern is used in the machine molding. It is not in the green sun molding. It is not in the bench molding. It is not the pit molding. So MM is match plate pattern is used in the machine molding. So next question, which are following is a non-chip mold process? It is spinning on lathe. Spinning is the pressing against the form. We can use the tumblers like that. Next, for first product of blast furnace. It is a pig iron. Pig iron means impure iron. Raw material of all iron and steel product is. So which one is the raw material? So that too, it is also pig iron. From the pig iron only, all the materials are produced. For example, iron, steel are produced from the pig iron. So next, which of the following is not a casting defect? Hot air is the casting defect. Blow hole is the casting defect. Scab is the casting. Decarbonation is the removal of carbon. Chief advantage of which is the chief advantage of the die casting? So high production rate. The advantage is high production rate is the chief advantage. So mass production. Die casting is always used for mass production. For mounting several pattern at a time. Several pattern at a time. So we can go for several pattern at a time. Combined pattern. For mounting several, which of the following type of pattern? Combined pattern is used for mounting several pattern at a time. Casting process prepared for having many details. Casting process, many details. Main advantage of shell molding, thin sections. Shell molding means thin sections, can be easily obtained. Strength and permeability of sieve sand are related to the permeability is relevant to the most important factor is moisture content. Graphite molds are generally used for continuous casting method because, so we know that graphite molds is used for continuous casting method. So what is the reason behind that? They are self-lubricating. Yes. Noise level in the case of aircraft. So it is generally more than 100 decibel. Foundry crucible is made up of, crucible is made up of graphite. 1.59 is graphite. And 1.60 investment casting is also known as lost wax process, LWP. For production of quality parts, we can go for quality parts die casting, pressure die casting, PDC. Thank you, students.